Hey everybody, welcome back to another Top 5 Countdown. I'm Mike B, and today we're going to be taking a look at the top 5 surplus pistols under $500 that you should get in 2018. Quite the title, I know, but it's actually going to be a cool list. Unfortunately, these two do not qualify for the under $500 mark, but I would highly recommend you get one of each. World War I firearms. We've got the Colt Model 1917 on the left and the German P38 Luger on the right. So anyway, this list is going to be pretty interesting. It's going to kind of go by cost, ammo availability, and the availability of the weapon itself, and just kind of maybe the investment grade value and all that stuff. So we'll spend a couple minutes talking about each pistol, and then we'll wrap it up, and you'll have a little top 5 shopping list for pistols, because I've done a lot of videos on rifles, just haven't done handguns for whatever reason. So without further ado, we'll go to our number 5 pick. Coming in at number 5 on our list is the post-war German Walther P38, or P1, as this example is. Primarily the P1s because they go for a little bit less. These were used by the German military, the Bundeswehr, from the early 1960s until it was replaced in the early 1990s or mid-1990s with a different pistol. So these are on the list at number 5 because they are actually getting a little bit harder to find. I haven't been seeing a lot of these, especially on the primary market. But even on the secondary market, I haven't been really seeing a lot of these pop up, and they used to be a very common handgun. That's because they haven't been made in almost 30 years, and there's a finite amount of them. They don't make them anymore, and they're just a really cool pistol. If you don't want to spend, the $800-900 to $1,000 for a World War II variant P38 that you would feel kind of bad about shooting because it's so, worth so much, get one of these. They're really cool pistols. They're functional, and it's exactly like shooting a P38. It is the same gun, different name, and a little bit lighter weight, but it's the same gun essentially. So it's like having a World War II P38 that you can shoot the crap out of, and it's actually a decent idea for investment. These things have gone up in value since I started purchasing these a few years ago, significantly. And this one is just one. I had an original one, and I had to sell it, and then this opportunity presented itself and I had to get it, and I will not get rid of it because it was so hard to find this after they became kind of scarce after 2012 and 13. So yeah, we've got the post-war Walther P1 pistol, the German pistol. Comes in at number 5 because these do retail for about $400 to $450 dollars, depending on the condition and all that stuff, and if you can find it. Some go for more, but the average price is between $400 and $450. So that's why it's at number 5, because of the cost. The ammo is very available. It's a 9x19, but it sits very comfortably at number 5 on our list. So now we'll move on. This next one is a gun that is very near and dear to me. You've probably seen it in other videos. I've talked about it quite frequently, actually. You got the Yugoslavian M57 Tokarev pistol in 7.62 by 25 millimeter. This was my first handgun ever. It happened to be military surplus. They were really cheap and affordable and pretty easy to find when I did get these. I think it was back in 2010 or 2011, somewhere around there. But now they're actually becoming a lot more hard to find. I specifically say the M57 just because of the extra round in the magazine. This holds 9 rounds instead of the typical 8 for most other Tokarev TT33 variants. It's got a longer grip on it, which I actually enjoy. If you have bigger hands, it's a little bit better than a regular Tokarev. It's got a pretty short handle. And yeah, they're great handguns. I just love these things. They're super accurate, they're reliable, and I just can't say enough good things about them. And the only reason it scores number 4 is because of the ammo availability. Although commercial stuff is made, it's still not as cheap as, say, 9mm or even 40 Smith & Wesson. It's getting, the surplus stuff is really more collectible now than anything, which kind of sucks, but it's not available on the primary market anymore, so you have to buy commercial. Not a big deal, but really cool caliber. It's a beast of a caliber to go through level 3 body armor, as you can see on some of my ballistic test videos. It's just a great pistol. I just love it. It's an old school but still relevant handgun, and there are only so many of these. I'm talking about the original military variants, right? They're going to have the Yugoslavian crest on the top of the receiver, or the slide, sorry, and they're not going to be the commercially made ones that are made by Zastava nowadays. So yeah, if you can get one of these original military configuration M57s, they should be going for about $275 to $300 if you can get one. I'd highly recommend getting one. The only reason they're so far down again is because of the ammo, but they still make the top 5 lists. So number 4, we've got the Yugoslavian M57 Tokarev. Most people think military when they hear surplus, but you can also get police surplus from other countries. This one comes in at number 3 on our list because of a bunch of different reasons. I'm not a big Beretta fan, as you guys might know. I think there are better pistols out there, but it's far from the worst. This is the model 92S, so it's not going to be like an M9. It's not going to be a 92 FS or whatever the M9 is based off of. These are a little bit older. These were designed in 1970s, and these specifically, I think this batch that's coming to the U.S. recently is like Italian police trade-in kind of thing, where they just got rid of these and went with a newer design pistol or something. These are all in like really cool shape. This was another shooter grade deal from AIM, right? AIM surplus. And just look at that, it's in great condition. I fired it, it's very accurate, it's reliable, it works. Again, not a big fan of Berettas, but you know, it's just cool to have one of these. And this was, I think, $300 or less with the FFL transfer fee and everything. So $300 for a 9mm pistol is actually a very good deal, no matter what it is. I mean, besides a high point or something like that, but like a real pistol, it's a great price. $300 for a you know, 16 round capacity standard magazines. You can get mags for these. It's 9mm. The only reason it's at number 3 is because of the fact that it's heavy, and I just personally, I'm not a fan of the Beretta, but I still think it's one hell of a deal on a surplus pistol, police surplus. And if you're a Beretta person, these are amazing. I have really nothing bad to say about this, like in all honesty. So if I sound negative, it's just because of that. It's personal bias. But still, I think you should get one. $300 for a decent 9mm handgun. It's an entry grade handgun, you know. It's just like having an M9. They feel just like an M9, but a couple of differences that you can check out on my other videos. So coming in strongly at number 3 is the Beretta M92S pistol. Coming in solidly at number 2, I'll explain why it isn't number 1 in a second, is the Czechoslovakian CZ82 pistol in 9x18 Makarov. So I don't know if I've made many videos on these, but these are hands down probably one of my, if not my favorite military surplus handgun. They're Hero and Relic firearm eligible, so if you got an 03 CNR license, you can actually buy one of these and have it sent to you. Another reason I love these. They're just, like I said in another video, a Makarov with an extra chromosome. The Czechs are really good at taking already designed weapons and improving them, kind of putting their own twist on it, and this is one of the examples of them just kicking ass and taking names. It's very small, easy to conceal for concealed carry, right? Like I made my video of my 2 carry pieces. This happens to be one of them. They have polygonal rifling, which means that there's no lands and grooves. If you can see that, it's just smooth. And the metal itself is actually twisted. So they're extremely accurate. They're very smooth to shoot, very reliable. I don't think I've ever had a malfunction with one of these, to be honest. Very easy to take apart, very female friendly for female shooters. Most of my friends that are females have shot this and they loved it, and they're actually very proficient with it. This is a great option. So it's also very collectible. For a couple of years, these were dried up. These were not available, but now they're on the primary market again. You can get these for about $300, right? If you want to get some extra ammo with it, it's like $350 for a package deal like I got. But yeah, about $300 for this. One hell of a handgun. Like I said, one of my favorites. I don't want to spend too much time praising it, but yeah, it's grown on me, and I definitely see what all the hype is about. So number 2. It's number 2 because of the fact that the ammo, you have to get it online. It's not available at like, you know, any retail store that I've ever been to. Like big chain, like Walmart does not carry this 9x18mm. So you do have to get it online, but that's not an issue for me. But for a lot of people, ammo accessibility is a big factor when talking about firearms. So that's why it's at number 2 and not number 1. So now we'll move on, and you can see the big reveal. So you ready for it? You ready for the number 1? So am I. All right, number 1 is a recent acquisition, and I hope there's a lot of these so a lot of people can get these. These are the Spanish Star Model BM pistols in 9x19mm. I got this for all said and done. I actually got 2 of them, but I got them for all said and done under $200 a piece with the FFL fee and everything and shipping from AIM Surplus. They're for the regular grade ones, they're $200. These were the shooter grade ones, so they're a little bit cheaper. But if they have more shooter grades or other places have shooter grade Spanish star model BMs, you should totally get that. $200, all said and done, for a 9mm, pretty much like 1911 compact pistol. They're really heavy. They've got a lot of heft to them. They're fantastic little guns. I haven't shot this one yet, but I've heard nothing but good about these things. They're just really cool, and I cannot believe the price sticker on them. So if you got, a little bit of extra money and you're trying to figure out what to get one of these, because I'm sure once these dry up, they're going to become very collectible and very popular. They haven't made these in a long time. These were made in the 70s, and they only made a certain number of them. It's actually not that big of a number, and I cannot believe they're going for so cheap. These are police trade-ins, so that's why they're surplus, or civil guard. The Spanish civil guard is kind of a interesting thing. I call them police, but I don't know. Some of you might disagree. Oh well. So these are trade-ins, and these are dated in the 70s and stuff. They're just in fantastic shape. Like, this is a bad condition one. It's just got holster wear, but functionally it's all there. It's all perfect. So yeah, and this is number one because of the fact that it's in 9x19mm. Very accessible ammunition. So that kind of wraps up our list. We'll keep this video, it's kind of short, not super short. And I hope you enjoyed this. I really do. I like doing these top fives because it's pretty interesting, because a lot of people will say, hey, because of that I went out and bought this gun, and I'm really happy to get people addicted to this. It's a healthy addiction, not like heroin or meth. This costs about the same, but you actually get something to show for it, besides a messed up body. But all right, anyway, that's kind of why I do these top fives, is kind of get you guys in the collecting mood and check out what you think and all that stuff. So yeah, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now, because if you like this video, you're gonna be seeing a lot more on my channel like this. So if you're already a subscriber, thanks a lot. You should consider going to the Patreon page in the description and become a supporter on there for $1 a month, so we can get ammo to go out and fire these things. I do ballistic tests on helmets and hopefully flak vests this year. And that stuff costs money. I can self-fund it to a point, but then it becomes like kind of a burden. So it helps when I get some crowdfunding from you guys. It's $1 a month. That's like 12 bucks a year. That's like getting 1 or 2 beers at a decent bar. So just factor that in. Yeah, so consider doing that. Become a supporter on there. You get access to a bunch of cool stuff, exclusive content, polls. It's a lot more interactive and stuff. And I do post stuff on there that I don't release on YouTube. So thanks for watching, everybody, and we will see you on the next video.